Thanks for joining. Today we are going to make the covers for a sketchbook. You can see that it has a hinge, and later on we're going to do Japanese binding here. I've already made one cover and I'm going to show you how to make the second cover. All you need is cardboard, paper, ruler, stick glue, not the purple kind, and a pair of scissors. The other thing I have that I let my students use, but you don't need to have it, is one of these electric cardboard cutters, and I can leave a link for that in the description, but it's helpful, but you don't have to use it. You can use scissors. You could use an X-Acto knife if you've already trained your students on that. So I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to put it together. The students will cut their own cardboard. So the paper that's going to go inside, which I just have here for demonstration purposes, the size that we're doing is a half sheet of copy paper for the paper size, which is 8.5 by 5.5. The cardboard itself that we're going to use, and this is a template that I've made, and they're all going to trace it and then use it, is 8.5 by 6. So this is the size of the inside of the cover. So I'm going to show you how to do it, starting from cutting the cardboard. So just take some scrap cardboard. I had some boxes donated from a science teacher, and then you'll cut the template, or if you are just doing it for yourself, you can just measure it or use a paper cutter. But again, I made several for my students to trace. This is 8.5 by 6, and you trace around it like this. And I always say, tip it in, don't go it straight up. So tip it in so it's right up against the edge. So now you've got it traced out, and then you can either use scissors or the cardboard cutter. I'll show you how the cardboard cutter works just in case you're curious. It has a rotating blade, a little guide underneath. It can be tricky. It's only for straight lines. I have a different one that's for curves, and it has this little safety button. So you push it and then you go like this and it cuts it. So I'm going to use that. Got this tool first when I was making a big cardboard sculpture with my students, and they came in very handy. Now what we have to do is we need it to hinge like this. So we're going to cut an inch off of here. You can measure an inch if you want to, but this ruler happens to be an inch wide, so I'm going to trace it like that and cut here. And again, either way, scissors, box cutter, X-Acto knife, whatever works for you. I gave my students a choice, and some chose scissors and some chose the box cutter. So it's all up to you, whatever you're comfortable with, both as an artist or a teacher. All right. Now what my students are going to do is they're going to decorate their covers afterwards. So this is just kind of the way to get it all put together, and then we are going to add things to it. We want it to be like a sandwich, right? So it's got to open up like this. So this side has to be opposite this side. We're going to take a piece of paper that I have cut. It's an inch bigger all the way around, so it's 11 by 8 for the outside, and that's going to go here, and then this is going to wrap around. So if you have words or a rough side, have that be the side with no glue on it, so that when we see the front, it's going to be nice and neat. So I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to cover this with glue. I used to use liquid Elmer's glue, but it did not work as well because it kind of buckled the paper, and this, you just have to make sure you get plenty on there, but this doesn't buckle, and it's a little less messy. So I just go for it with the glue stick. But make sure you get it all the way, every last little piece and bit of it covered. Okay, so now I'm going to set my paper down, and I'm going to put it face down about an inch all the way around. And then I'm going to leave a 1/2 inch gap and then put this down. I will put my glue on here. And again, make sure you have lots. All the way on the flat parts and all the way around the edges. And then set that down with the same width of gap as your first one. You could check and make sure. Yes, because you want it to be the same size. So I'm checking to make sure it's the same. All right. Now, the trick is to make it look professional. So do you see these nice, neat corners? That's what we're going to do first. I have another video on making accordion books with a similar method. But so the first thing we're going to do is the corners. But the thing that really helps is to get some on the sides of the cardboard also. Then you fold it so that it is a 45-degree angle, and it makes kind of a perfect 90 degrees on here. Rub the corner and then push it in so that it is touching the glued edges of the cardboard there, and then flatten this out. We're going to do that for all 4 sides. So and then get it all the way off the edges of the white paper as well. Get it on here. Again, turn it so it's a nice 45-degree angle with a perfect little square or rectangle here. Push it down, rub it up against the cardboard, and then flatten it out. And that's going to make a nice, neat corners. And it is still not dry, so if you need to move it around or adjust it a little bit, you can. Okay, now we're just going to do the edges and fold those in, and we're going to do the same. And I see a little bit's not sticking or sticking down there, so I covered that. I kind of went and got a little bit extra in there. Okay, now for the flaps, again, get it all the way off the edge. Like, really make sure you get it off the edge and get it all along the edge of the cardboard. Then you're going to fold it over, but as you do, make sure it's making contact with the edge of the cardboard, and then roll it over and smooth it down. We're going to do that for each one, but when we do this area here where the hinge is, we want this to stick down in there, so try to get a little bit of glue in there, and especially glue that area. Get the glue, make sure it's all on the edges and all on the sides of your cardboard. Right, and then again, like this, make sure it's on the edge and then kind of pull it and roll it. But here on this hinge, you want to get it pushed down inside here because we want it to be able to neatly bend like this. So we're getting it down in there, making sure it has good contact in that little groove. Same thing. Nice and sturdy. Push it down into the little groove. Make sure all of your seams are strong and that your corners look professional, like this. And then we have another piece, and that is going to go here. Similar process, we're going to get glue all over it and make sure it goes in here. So again, get it all the way glued, like everything. It's going to use a lot of glue. If you want to, you can get a bigger glue stick like this if you're going to be doing a lot of books. Do it with liquid Elmer's glue, but it will have a lot more problems bending and buckling the paper. And again, make sure you go off the page. So now it's fully glued. And then we're going to start, make sure it's going to fit the whole way, but we're going to start on the side that's not hinged. Get that smooth. Might want to stop. I'm getting it pushed into here too. You might want to stop and wash your hands. Mine are getting kind of sticky. Now, instead of going straight across on the hinge part, we are going to bend it down inside first. That's going to help it bend a lot. So I'm getting it in there. Gonna push it up against the cardboard on the inside and then fold it over. And then just make sure everything is nice and tight. If you have something that's not quite stuck down, and this all is stuck down, but if not, I could kind of flick a little glue under there to make it stick back down. And now I have this one, my back one. So once it dries, I can decorate it. And then after that, I'll have my paper, which is half a sheet of copy paper. You put it all the way to the back. Put this on, so now it's going to open up like a real book, because it is a real book, and then you drill holes here and bind it. I usually use office binder clips to clip it together like that while I drill it. But that is how you make the front and back covers for your homemade sketchbook, and then later on you can bind it how you would like. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if it works out well for you. I'd love to see some of the books that you make. Have a great day, and thanks for stopping by.